Okay, I'm Blue Royal, and am trying to get a message out to the world right now. And I know it sounds crazy, but when God wants to use somebody and use people and to reveal the truth about some things, and it's He'll use you. No matter who you are, what you look like, what you're doing, or what people say and judge you. It's serious right now. It could be catastrophic, but it could stop. People are complaining about racism and terrorists and this, that, whatever. And the fact is right now we have a chance to do something about it, right? So, when the devil made the world his playground, he used a lot of deceit. So when you can deceive a world into thinking you're somebody that you're not actually, right? You're somebody totally different. Even gender, it doesn't matter, or race or ethnicity, it doesn't matter, right? So the terrorists are right here already, and we're coming up on 9/11, and I feel like I'm just being shut off because there's chaos when the devil will use money, fame, power, whatever um, to people will go after that. It pleases the flesh. We live in, lust. You know what I mean? So they'll go after that instead of the truth because it feels better, and it's unbelievable. We can't fathom certain things, like maybe possibly Jesus, because the first time he came, 30 pieces of silver, the high priest, the government, or whatever, the system. 3 days later, supposedly, that's what we have been taught our whole lives. He rose again. Oh, okay. So we're just gonna hold him, and we're just gonna build money, a whole empire underground, so people can't see, and people can't fathom like all this is going on, right? Well, you know what I mean. The fact of the truth of the matter is when things are, you might possibly have. I'm still trying to understand a lot, but when there's the Christ, and then there's the prophet, right? So somebody has, whichever one, because I'm not trying to talk about anybody's Lord, who they follow or whatever, but one has to prophesy, right? So when you have a whole world is built on trucking system, the government or whatever, covering up and hiding the secrets, you know what I'm saying? Like Secret Service, I'm not saying them exactly, but then again, yeah, I am, because they are protecting and hiding in a Secret Service. Secret Services, it could human trafficking, sex trafficking. We go to other countries, we steal people's, money and their women, their children. We bring them back because what is America like? They like foreign women. You know what I mean? So foreign women are great. So they please businessmen. What is businessmen like? They like to get high and they like to have sex. So we're in a racial war. So all the other countries are terrorists. Even our black Americans, they're wrong and they're looked upon, and it's like no justice, right? But then again, I'm not saying anything about gay people because it's each their own or whatever. However, when you run a country, you are to be who you say you are, right? But then if you look at Trump, and then you look at, I don't know, I thought Ivanka, pretty much, I thought that was his wife. Maybe I'm mistaken or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out who Melania is, and it's in the media. So the media, deceiving. Then you have, the coronavirus. It's almost 9/11. Like it is put out there that, oh, now we have to wear masks. We have to stay inside. Why? We stay inside so we're not seeing all the action going on. Then we cover our face. Why? So that we can hide who we are, so that people can't see who is who and whatever. So then if you are had you're transgender or whatever, you know what I mean? So if you just look at their necks or whatever, it's extensions, or you know what I mean, like implants to stretch the neck to hide the Adam's apple, you know what I mean? And you just look and just look at the family or whatever, and it's like, I don't care who he is, I don't care how much money you have, but we're talking about the world right now. That's catastrophic. You're supposed to be the most powerful man in the world. How is that? Are you the devil? Because then the devil deceived the world from the beginning of time, right? And as of right now, what you're the most powerful, but even if you are from another country, it don't matter, because no country or whatever is going. So our whole geographical system is deceived. It's not actually what it is, right? So let's just say, Jesus come back. Okay, well, or Muhammad, or they're together, or I have things that God has shown me, and I have pictures, and I have put things together, and I have a good understanding. I can explain it in detail, but I can't get out and get anyone to believe, because we have been taught our whole lives one way, and we want to believe, and we're like, oh, how can we miss that? How do we not see that? With the devil does what? He just sees, he covers up. So whatever we see with the eye physically is not what it actually is, right? So you have to look deeper. 2020, you have to 2020 vision, look close, you know what I mean? Have a clear understanding, clarity. When something's being put out there, you give a new thought. Oh, it can't fathom it. Okay, but we're living in a whole world is at war. So why would you not even try to say, okay, well, let's just, I might not believe it all, but let's just see about it. Let's try something new, right? Because when you're saying that it's so bad and so much hurt and so much pain, so something somewhere had to have happened to continue on in that cycle, that now if there's a new truth and we go after that and we fix it and we just break down the whole entire system, we have to shut down all of. Right now I am in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Right now, Heller's gas has to be shut off, right? There's a whole system that is built underground. There's underground slavery, and there's underground stuff that has gone on here from the beginning, you know, from years ago or whatever. But at the same time, like, those things are still open and going on. And you have chemical plants here. You have natural resources here. There's a lot of things here. And you know, like, I do fear because I don't want the police to come in. I'm not saying them in particularly will do that, but you know, money talks, and that's it. Like, people go after the money, they don't go after the truth. But however, like, it's not even the truth. We're talking about the world being catastrophic right now, a whole underground system. Then you have, you know, the children and the women who are just being kept. Then you have people who are being enslaved, also doing government jobs, that have been brainwashed. Our military, you're being brainwashed to what? To believe what? So what was your brainwash? Stop listening. Go after and listen. And then people are in places that are there, then you're there for a reason. There's people of power. You're there for a reason. When somebody gives you a new truth, go after it. Some people have been prophesied a whole life. When you start thinking about some things, you know, like when I think about, like, and I, you know, somebody makes fun of me or whatever, like the Matrix or whatever, you know, and it's like, yeah, you take the red pill or you take the blue pill, right? So businessmen, they do what? Invest. Okay, cloning, underground things. Something can happen, but the fact is the world wants to come together. Other countries want to come together, want to know why their women in their country and there are shit and their money. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, it's an epidemic. Yeah, an epidemic of deceit, lies, accusations. You know, there's no money in the world, because me and my kids, we belong to God. There's no money in the world. I don't care what you say about ransom. This is gonna blow up. That's gonna blow up. Nothing where I am, because I do know that God has given me the clarity, the vision, the know. And yeah, there's a possibility. People can't fathom that. Oh yeah, one person who used to do da da da. I don't care who you are, right? It doesn't matter who you are, because when God calls you, God calls you. When God shows you something, He shows it to you. Me and my kids we are not going to be bought for a price. So if I had to sacrifice my kids, if I had to sacrifice myself to say no, that we're not going to stand for that, to break this cycle and it ends here, then that is what I'm going to do. And I'm trying to get people, I'm doing my best, you know, no matter what site I go on, no matter what people are trying to make it seem like, oh, she's crazy, she's this, she's that, or blah, blah, blah. Well, you know, I feel a little, you know, on the edge or whatever, because I feel like something might happen to me before I get a chance to even spread and say something to people. But I have pictures I can explain, I can break it down. But, you know, it's like people are the lust that pleases the body, it's the flesh. So that's what we live by. You know, so it feels good because there's so much pain in the world, and misunderstanding and judgment and bias and unethical situations. Like, it's terrible. So when you want to, you know, like, I'm not saying like every branch of government, every police officer or whatever is bad, but yeah, those are not good. So what does God do? Not God, but the devil. He sends situations to cause chaos, to drive you away from the truth. So I have so much stuff that goes on outside of me, but I know I haven't done anything, so I'm not going to walk around in fear and be scared or whatever. What I'm scared of is that me and my children have to suffer for things that are not our responsibility. What our responsibility is to stand for the truth and go after God. If some things, you know, I might not be clear on or whatever, okay, that's fine. I could be wrong. Some things I'm not wrong about, and it is what it is. So when there's businesses and people are being held hostage in their own businesses, and they're from other countries, and or this and that, but then It's our own country right here who's hiding a holy truth, you know what I mean, and built off of it. And that holy truth is the fact that even Jesus, or say Jesus or Muhammad, right? So God even uses that, right, that situation to go after that, and then you uncover a world of so much filth of lust and sex trafficking and human trafficking, people who are specialists who aren't allowed to come out because they're kept to do a job or whatever, and they're threatened by the government or whatever. Okay, stop doing it. Don't do it anymore. It doesn't matter. They cannot make you move. If they kill you, just believe that when you stand for that truth and you say no more, God's not gonna let nothing happen to you. So when I go here and I go there and I know and I see things or whatever, blah blah blah, and I have to cut this and I have to cut that, is because I cuss, I get angry and all of that, you know, like. But at the end of the day, I belong to the Lord, and I have a clear understanding about things. And He uses all those things, right, and all that deceit and the pain and the hurt, just to cover, if it's one person, if it's 1,000, if it's millions of people in underground slavery, you know what I mean, and children and women being, you know, taken from other countries to come over here and sold into slavery and sex slavery and made to sell their bodies or whatever and to please these. Okay, that's not right. That's why we're all in turmoil. That's why there's hate and confusion and all of that, you know. But I might not look like much, and I'm not much. I'm really not. I'm not anybody. You know what I mean? I'm like a nobody. But to God, I'm somebody. And guys, I wouldn't be able to explain in detail, and if God didn't show me and break it down for me. So the high priest, the government or whatever, they bought Jesus, right? 30. Okay, but He came back, right? So, oh, we can do some much bigger, better things and build a whole empire, right, that will overtake the world. So then the devil made the world his playground and deceived so bad that even the geographical system or it's everything's wrong. Okay, the trucking system, everything. You have, you know, just think about, you know, the time when they found the semi, with all the people in the back of the semi, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're fleeing, trying to flee to our country, but some of them weren't just fleeing; they were taken. They, you know, like they're being sold into slavery, you know what I mean? And they were left, so they abandoned the semi and left the people, and they were all found dead. Okay, but now we have a wall. We're keeping people out. We're supposed to be a peace country. How are we a peace country when you're supposed to be helping and you're building a wall, right? And you're leaving people, they need help. You help them, and by all means, Trump Towers. Okay, no, we take them down, right? We take them down. Why? Because if you can build a wall and leave people there, and you say you stand for this and humanity and blah blah blah, whatever, we're doing big things, jobs or whatever. No, your job is to humanize and to care, not deceive. And the fact that if I reach out to the CIA, if I reach out to Homeland Security, if I reach out to these people and I say there's a terrorist attack about to coming up, like I said on 9/11, these people were supposed to be held on trial. How are they going to be held? Are you talking about the people who premeditated? How do you know they were premeditated? Who told you that? Because how do you know somebody from this country or another country came in and said, oh no, da 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 da? You don't know, because they're lying, because they're going to put that blame on somebody else to take the focus on the fact that that's this, that, and the whole time all that stuff is going on, right here in our very own is where you have to be keeping your eye out on, right? There's not one foreign currency, one American dollar, one gold bar, coin, or nothing can convince me to say, oh, I gotta try harder, I gotta do this, you know what I mean? Like, I can't take that, you know, like, I have no money right now, I'm broke, I'm bumming cigarettes, you know, like, I feel like shit, you know, like, I'm insecure, yeah, but I'm not insecure in who I am as a person and what I stand for, and that is what it is. There is nothing else, you know. I have to sacrifice for to see my kids, you know, like, there's just, it's a big sacrifice. I have to sacrifice if I'm gonna look crazy, be thrown into a hospital, thrown into jail, killed. That's what you want to do? Try me. Try God, because I belong to God, and He has the last say. We are all God's children. We're all responsible for each other, and we all need to be held accountable and hold each other accountable. There is no jail. You just do the right thing. See about it. Take it down. Break it down. Start over. We build it. Right? That's just how it is. Do I know how to do it? Oh yeah, I know how to do it in detail. I damn sure do. But the fact is, I can't do it alone. And I can't just do it tucked away somewhere where I'm trying to reach out being made that I'm crazy and I'm a crackhead and I'm this and I'm that. Do I do something sometimes? Oh, yeah, but you know what? Like, I'm going to be honest with you, and it doesn't matter what I do. The truth of the matter is, if there's people in place and they know the truth and they're freaking out and they're doing this and they're going and all, okay, yeah, then you know it's the truth, right? Then you had to dig a little bit deeper. 2020 vision, right? See, look, clarity, go further, go deeper. You know, there's a lot more truth and stuff that I know and goes on. But my biggest concern is that the fact that all chemical plants everywhere, all gas or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, everything just needs to be shut down right now and monitored, and you have to put people in place, and it's all races held together that make a decision together. So there's no biased decision. So you can't say, oh, well, this country, that country, or whatever. You come together and you do it together. Can I help? Yeah, but I can't. People are threatening. If you don't, if you go closer, if you do this or you do that, we're going to bomb. It doesn't matter what you say you're going to do, because God's going to stop you. So if not, it's going to be nuked from the bottom. So everything will have to sink to try to hide the core of the earth, right? To try to cover up, Jesus or the prophet or whatever, and all the bad things. So then the earth will then sink, right? And then start to melt away. However, no, you shut everything down. And bit by bit, every soldier, every government official, every specialist, every person grabs a child and a woman and whoever and whoever it is. You bust through the ground or whatever, crazy or whatever, it does not matter. And you come out. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's doing that, right? It's a time of forgiveness, understanding, compassion, love, care, kindness, humanizing. Getting it together, right? Because if we don't, guess what? It's going to be catastrophic. However, I know for a fact that, I'm not going to experience that. God's not going to allow me to experience that, because I've already gone through some things. And God has protected me, right? And my children as well. And there's people set in place for that. And I'm waiting on them. And they're here. And they're fighting. And the devil just keeps causing these like here and there. There's chaos, this, that, and the other, cover up and all. During all of that, you have to see past that and go, no, we're just going to dig deeper, because if this is this, then something else is going to be something else, and then if that is that, then something else is going to be there, right? Because all of that wouldn't be that deceit right there in the first place if all the rest of it was just fake, right? So we had to just dive in, say fuck it, and put everything down. You put the guns down and everything, like, you know what I mean? Like, there is no bomb, there's no nothing. Like, just for once, everybody just take a stand and stop being ignorant and try a new truth. You might not believe it, you might question it, you might say it's impossible. Yeah, well, you know what? Think about the deaths and the heinous crimes, children being sodomized, people being eaten, babies, all of that stuff. We just think our minds can't fathom it, unless you're the person doing it, right? You can't fathom it, that it's so bad that it would happen. So why can it not be so bad and so much deceit that our whole lives, the whole world has been so deceived for so long? But guess what? Now you have something else to go after, that hope, that you have a little bit of faith, and just do it. You know what I mean? See about it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Do it in love. Do it in care, kindness. So, do the best you can. And if not, yeah, sometimes you have to get gangster or whatever. But to me, the new army, the new truth or whatever come together. And you got to do away with those people to get them out your way. So what is it? You do away with a few more people to uncover the truth? Or do you do away with the whole world where people were already deceived and hurting and pain? Right? So it'd be ignorant, not just to eat. It's just stupid. And, stop fighting and stop calling and judging. And the racial war, like, it's serious, you know what I mean? But guess what? That's what the devil does. The devil turns you against each other. So when a time comes, like with me, like, I have so many just different barriers. He puts them there to try to discourage me. No money, I might not know where I'm gonna eat or where I'm gonna stay. If I look like a ragamuffin or that, I really don't care about none of that, because I belong to the Lord. And at the right time, like, I have what I need, and I don't want to be a burden on nobody, but it's like, when you know that the president and all, and it's like, damn, you have all the money. So it's like Trump Tower is down, like, you just Trump out. You know what I mean? Like, it's game over. You just think about all the lies or whatever, and the deceit and the lust and the pain that you cover and you cause. So the people out in the streets, the thugs, the gangsters or whatever, or you know what I mean? Like, those are the ones that have been dealing with all this stuff of the businessman come and people come along and they pay blah blah blah, and then people are just left to hurt and get through it on their own. And then they're not seen about, they're neglected, they're looked over, they're looked past, like something's wrong with them. Ain't shit wrong with them. They're hurting because somebody fucked them up and nobody came to see about them. And people deceived them. And it's bad, you know, but I have to just sacrifice everything. And if I had to sacrifice me, and like I said, I love my children, but we're not going to stand for no money, fame, power, lust, all that stuff. That it's not going to move us. Because what God has for us is for us. And I have gone through a lot, and I go through a lot. There's things, possibilities with me, but I'm really not worried about me. I'm worried about my brothers and sisters, and that's everywhere. Every race, every gender, every ethnicity. That's what I'm worried about. And I'm worried about Jesus. I'm worried about the truth coming out and the devil having the last say. What do the most unforgivable, the unforgivable sin? What is defiling our holy temple? Not maybe our holy temple. Maybe that's Christ, right? We defiled it. It's not suicide, right? Because people come over and they fight. Sometimes, you know, people just, maybe they're fighting for another truth because maybe God was using them. But the devil, and it overcame, because sometimes I think, you know what, if I had to, then guess what? It is what it is. But I'm not going to do that. I will not do that. So if anything happens to me and say, oh, it's suicide, no, it's not. That means that somebody was standing up for the truth. And that's it, right? And we ain't having that. And guess, you know, things happen. And I personally, me or my children or whatever, and, you know, the fact remains that there are good people in the world, and it may be hard to believe and our minds can't fathom it, but guess what? We have to try for something else. Why? What do we have to lose? The whole world? Okay, well, we're losing the whole world anyway. Everything, you know what I mean? Like, why is it our country is not going through? Yeah, we had 9/11. Okay, yeah, and let's you know, come up on an anniversary. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm having to do my best to try to explain on here, but I'm putting it out there right now. So, my number is 570-951-5665.